How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit. We've got ourselves some massive Pokemon leaks, so let's get right into it. Starting things off, we've got this post that was shared by none else than Centro, who has been compiling some leaks from this Kurwashi account, Kurwashi Bamaste. I'm not going to read his name just completely like that because that's a slur in my language, but here is basically what it says. This is all coming from that person originally, so just understand where the leak is originally from. But here's what they say though, which is Pokemon wins away its potential massive leak. The game will have the highest amount of new Pokemon ever in a new game, which that would be huge. See, if we think about previous Pokemon games we've had, I think the most we ever had was in Black and White, which introduced 151 Pokemon, because it was meant to be sort of like a reset of the entire, franchise in some way, to try to like sort of reset everything back to normal, back to a start, which actually, if you think about it, that was the 5th generation, and now we're 5 generations later. It may be a good time to do that again, except this time I doubt they're going to do that because we've already seen old Pokemon present. The one thing about Black and White was that Black and White in Gen 5 didn't include any of the old Pokemon until you beat the game. That's when they unlocked the previous ones, so you can only use brand new Pokemon. I doubt they're going to make that mistake again because a lot of people were pissed off about it back in the day, but I personally liked it. So either way, the number that is being talked about is around 300 new Pokemon / forms. Okay, so not exactly 300 new Pokemon. Forms are included, but 300 is a large number, which, if anything, would be really exciting because one of the best things about Pokemon is discovering new ones, right? One of the things that sucks about, like, especially recent games, is that we've gotten less and less new Pokemon and more forms that sometimes are barely different from the original version. So that's pretty awesome. They also talk about the new battle gimmick will be introducing special weather forms for some Pokemon. Think like Megas and Dynamax. So yes, this is already something we knew from previous leaks, previous information. Like, that's the only thing that we pretty much, we already knew about this stuff from those previous leaks, right? From the Giant Terra leak, that there was going to be a new gimmick, and we didn't know there was going to be something like, they were referred to as Majin forms, and all that kind of stuff. There might be a new name for it. I've seen some rumors about that. We'll see if we can find that rumor and share it with you guys. But other than that, though, the new battle gimmick having some form of weather forms makes a lot of sense. And again, he says here, rumor comes from Kurwashi Bamaste. See the next tweet for details on this, why we think this may be legit. He also says, do you realize how ridiculous the claim of 300 new Pokemon on a game sounds like? And then he says, yes, we know. That's why we are hesitant from posting this. However, since this information came to light, we've been able to independently verify from other sources that they have heard similar information about the high number of new Pokemon. So yes, take it with a grain of salt. However, we're confident enough in this information to post it, treat it as a rumor for now. We'll continue seeking verification of this information and update you as we know more. That is huge, okay? 300 new Pokemon, no matter how you twist it, even if, let's say, half of them are brand new forms or whatever, let's say half of them are regional forms, I don't know, like the new weather thingy, right? Like special weather forms. Let's say if half of them are those, the other half is still brand new Pokemon, which is what we've been wanting, and we haven't gotten that large of an amount since basically Black and White, I'm pretty sure. So honestly, this sounds like a good thing. This sounds like actually amazing. What am I saying? I am very happy about this idea, and I'm very happy about this if it is true. Again, it is if it's true. We don't know if that's the case yet. Just keep that in mind, that we don't know if this is confirmed as of yet. It is coming from this guy right here, and we can scroll down here and look at some of the posts he's made in the past. Of course, I think, was mocking this riddle, saying that it wasn't real, which I don't know if that's true or not, because the original riddle came from, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was from Billy, which is another leaker. There's so many of them now that it's hard to keep track of who's who. He also somebody asked, so there's going to be a lot of new Pokemon introduced, like in Gen 1, 3, and 5. He says, from what I can tell, the most ever by a significant margin. Then somebody asked him, what's the region? He says, the region and major named character names are redacted in what I have access to. For example, the champion is simply champion in the script. Somebody also asked, so most introduced is Unova with, I thought it was 151, it was 156, sorry. So we're talking like an odd 200 odd, maybe 220 if lucky, which would be effing batshit. He says, even this number is a bit of an underestimate. Then he says, to elaborate, the Dex is the most current build, has 531 slots, with 307 of them being placeholders and thus new Pokemon species. That is bonkers if true, okay? Also, 531 slots does sound like a very small amount when 300 of them are brand new, and then, 200 or so, give or take, are old. it's kind of strange. You'd expect more old Pokemon because it's easier to port them over and everything, but I don't know, man. I'm curious. Like, I would say this. I'm only okay with less Pokemon in the game if there are more new ones than old ones, and if let's say if there are 531 Pokemon only, right? Obviously, they'll add more in with DLCs or a third version game or something. That usually happens, or some form of update. Something that they're going to sell to you, right? So you can get access to more of them with the extra story and whatever. But I would be fine with this if they make those 531 Pokemon actually fit into the world. Like, make them interact with the world. Make them actually fit into the environment they're within. Like, make them fit into the world, make them function well, and make the rest of the game good. I'd rather have less Pokemon but a better game than an overflow of Pokemon but a shit game. So we'll see. Then somebody asks, so 307 new Pokemon, 227 returning ones. Does the number include gimmick forms? He says, not to my knowledge, but perhaps they will partition it like ZA later. Definitely includes any regional form though. Okay. Then somebody asked, was wondering if any of this can be confirmed or LARP. And this was Icy Boy, who posted a picture of a Berserker and everything, and then Psyduck's face, implying that we're going to get a form, some form of regional form of Psyduck that's going to be similar to this. And he says, I'd have to look back, give me a few minutes, see if I can match it up with some placeholders. And then he says, there's an Ice Psychic line that may fit the bill. Was Mr. Icy Boy implying it's a regional Psyduck line? It would be cool if so. So who knows? Maybe that's still true. We'll see. Say, hey man, would you be down joining a server with, okay, so this is just unrelated. But yeah, he hasn't really said much else since then. Okay, here it is. Here's the next thing. So the inclement weather in the game serves as an artificial barrier to your exploration, which can be removed by progressing on the Legend Tour. Each victory empowers Konetsu, clearing out more obstacles in your path. So okay, so basically this is pretty much confirming that the game is not going to be fully open world with you being able to go wherever you want. There's still going to be something blocking you. In this case, weather, that's going to literally block you from getting access to certain places. So yeah, there is roadblocks again. Okay, that kind of ruins a little bit of my anticipation. Somebody says, are Majin and Netsu the same? Is it like Gigantamax and Dynamax where some Pokemon get forms, but all Pokemon can use the gimmick? Yes to both. So basically saying Majin and Netsu. Majins, I guess, would be like the equivalent of Gigantamax, like Pokemon that look different and have a more of a special like form when they're being like affected by the new gimmick. And then Netsu would be, I guess, the overall gimmick that applies to everyone, or vice versa, either way. So is any info about voice acting in any form of the game? Not in the game right now. It was worked on at one point, though. May have been canceled or scrapped, which, that would really suck if true, man. Voice acting is one of those things I think everybody wants in a Pokemon game. I think it would be perfect. Pokemon not having it for the longest time is still weird to me. I mean, the fact that, like, games like Persona can have it, Pokemon should have it, too. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Of course, there has been like other rumors too, like this one from Billy, shared here by Centro, which is about Pokemon Pokopia leaks. So DLC 1 and DLC 3 of Pokopia will include new forms of new Pokemon, which is awesome. And then DLC 2 will be entirely focused on cosmetics, which is a little less fun. But yeah, that's interesting. I'm pretty sure the DLC cost was like, what was it, like $30 or something? 35? Was it 25 or 35? I don't remember. Something like that. But yes, at least we know we're going to be getting new forms in the first and third DLC. And the second DLC will be entirely focused on cosmetics. So there's that. And I think all these DLCs are in a bundle, if I'm not mistaken. So you don't have to buy them individually, as far as I can remember. Also, is another like potential leak update. First of all, we have the Billy information, and then we have Kurwashi. So we're going to start with Billy first, which is the following. So more Pokemon Winds and Waves potential leaks via Billy. It's been described as a MMO light. Lots of focus on communication features. And I'm guessing we're talking about Winds and Waves here still, right? So an MMO light sounds interesting. Again, I'm assuming that means that we're going to be able to see our friends again in the world and interact and do more stuff with them in the game world. Maybe ideally even play through the story together would be pretty cool. But again, MMO light would imply a lot of multiplayer stuff, right? Which makes a lot of sense. If anything, this is actually a good indicator for one thing, which is, keep in mind, they are now moving completely the competitive scene to Pokemon Champions, which means that they have more time now, and they have no excuses not to make a lot of fun multiplayer features that don't have to worry about balancing. Because this game doesn't need to balance anything. No balancing is needed. We don't care about balancing in it. Make it fun. That is the one important thing. Make it fun. Who cares about balancing and all that shit? It doesn't matter, because this is not the competitive game for Pokemon. It is the single player experience with multiplayer co-op, which would be nice to experience in a fun way and not think about how do we balance this game? Because that's what they're going to think about if they have to think about it. But this way, they can just focus on making a fun game. So that's the first thing. MMO Light, again, implies a lot of multiplayer stuff. I wonder what that would be. We'll see, right? Again, Light implies it's not going to be heavily MMO, but somewhat. Then, it follows a similar structure to Scarlet and Violet of having 3 main stories, which, based on what we heard from Kurwashi here, we know that that's going to be like roadblocks, essentially, in some way. So, I don't know how I feel about that. Then, they say that the idea is for the generation to be the most personable yet. I guess, is that, like, personable to us, that we can like experience it however we want. He said, then saying, quote, remember all new Pokemon, to know them, to feel them, to feel closer to them. Okay, so they want us to literally be attached to whatever these 300 new Pokemon or 150, whatever new Pokemon are. They just want us to basically be more attached to these things and build the same relationship we have with Gen 1 so that we buy more plushies. Even if the game's scope already got reduced a lot since the initial pitch, it still is very ambitious. Okay. Then we have information from Kurawasi. So these are 2 different people. Billy and Kurawashi are 2 different. He says, actually, that Salandit will get a new regional form, a poison dragon type. Okay, interesting. Also, Lieutenant Surge's son will be in the game and has his dad's Raichu. Ooh, that's kind of a cool little reference. Voice acting was planned for the game. We already talked about this, but could have been cut as it's not present in the current builds anymore. Online play, so MMO Lite features will be the biggest technical leap in Gen 10. I am so curious to see what they're going to do with this. Like, what is this going to look like? Is it going to be anything special or just like, here's some basic multiplayer? Now, some of the Pokemon that currently have placeholder special weather forms in the game are Arcanine. Okay, so these are Pokemon that are going to get new forms already. We're already hearing about them. Arcanine, which is cool. Arcanine never gets anything, so Arcanine, cool. Lucario, I couldn't care less about. It already got 2 megas, so I don't see the point in doing another one. Kecleon is a cool one, and Pikachu, who cares? And then 7 new Gen 10 Pokemon are going to get these weather forms, right? Note, things can change in final game. Remember Mega Jinx, which is true. A lot of development, so the next thing is, a lot of the development team already has moved to the DLC, codenamed Zeus. Note, the main game codename is Gaia. So Gaia being Earth, the Earth Mother, and Zeus being the freaking, what would you call him? The God of Lightning, I guess, in some form? God of Thunder? No, that's Thor. You get the point, right? Which, fair enough. I guess, would there be another DLC and maybe something else? Like, I don't know, dude. Hades? DLC Hades? Because he's in the under hell, man. I don't know. Either way. But basically, Zeus controls the weather for the most part, right? The lightning, the waves, everything. And then Poseidon rules the oceans. You know, down under. So, interesting. We'll see. Winds and Waves will also be an ambitious game. And delayed to 2027 was just due to needing more time to finish the game. Which, okay. That's it's a bit scary to learn about that. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's an interesting list, though. It's a lot of intriguing information, to say the least. I personally am just excited about this, because a lot of this stuff is, like, just cool to see. Also, Central just also reiterates an important note is that the only aspect we've been able to verify from multiple sources and have heard independently about is the number of 300 new Pokemon placeholders. That's the one detail we're feeling confident on. All other details reported should be treated as rumors, as they come from individual sources and haven't been cross-checked yet. We will mention the specific source of the information every time. I'm very curious to see what that's going to be like. We'll see. Also, they've, again, gone ahead and upgraded credibility of this one, just again, because of sources. So there you go. Also, then, funny enough, Eclipse comes out and says, hi, sounds like a good day. Do you like Black and White? Feel good to restart on fresh with a fresh new adventure. Again, it is possible that he's, again, trying to play into the idea of, like, hey, we're going to get these 300 new Pokemon, and half of them are going to be, like, 156, 151 of them are going to be brand new. It's same as Black and White. It's a reset. It's a refresh. It seems like that's what a lot of, like, insiders, rumor people, analyzers, leakers are implying, at least. That's at least what it feels like. Also, speaking of Gen 10, we finally got the new art for the 30th anniversary of Gekwa, Pombon, and Brout. All of them now, the starters have gotten their own versions of these. Oh, no, wait, are these real? No, they made it themselves. Sorry, that was my mess up. I saw this. I assumed it was based on this because there's another thingy that came out, official, like, brand new art for Gekwa, which this is real, by the way. This is artwork that's going to be on, I guess, the airplanes that are sponsored by Pokemon, which is the ANA airplanes, like the Japanese airline. So maybe I'm confusing something, but yeah, we can see Charmander and all them fellas, and then Pombon at the end. We can also see Brout down here, and I think Gekwa is the last one that we have artwork of here. I assume this was the same thing, but I guess these were made by Makio, so so I got that confused. By the way, the next thing is, after 10 years, Nintendo Switch and Switch OLED and Switch Lite will be discontinued in Europe from March 2020. So you're not going to be able to buy these anymore, or they will not be sold in stores anymore. So if you don't have one, might be time to pick one up just to get some of those old games to keep track of them. Because I'm telling you, with the way the world is going right now, and with the way the gaming industry is going, we're not going to be giving access to most of these things into the future. We're going to be completely cut off from a lot of games from the past, purely because they don't want to sell them to us anymore. So yeah, we'll see how that goes and how that turns out. Also, there's some theories here from Light, I guess, about Salandit getting a new form. So he says, some of you have been asking whether Salandit's rumored regional evolution will be 100% male. Honestly, that would make perfect sense, considering Salazzle is an exclusively female evolution. It wouldn't be the first time Pokemon has used gender-specific evolutions. Pokemon like that can be evolved into only if they're male or female, while female Corellia cannot. Likewise, only female can evolve into Gardevoir, right? If the rumors about regional evolution for Salandit in Gen 10 Winds and Waves are true, they could finally give a male Salandit its own evolutionary path, which also makes sense, because keep in mind, we know that Salandit and, you know, Salazzle, Salandit, and all that stuff evolving to the female one is also in a, how would you put this? It's in a tropical region from Alola, and now we're going to another tropical region with islands, so it just makes total sense. And come on, there's definitely lizards they can base it off of, you know, in Southeast Asia, in the Philippines, and Malaysia, and you know, all those places. So yeah, it makes total sense. It wouldn't be that crazy. Also, this is mostly just a summarization of everything we've already spoken about, as far as I can tell. I don't think we missed anything. We just know that the game is set to feature 3 main routes. Victory Road, Surge Sun will be in this route. Legend Tour, The Rival and Sick Girl will be in this route. Majin Netsu Tour, Evil CEO Sun will be in this route. So yeah, we can go through this one real quick as well and just read what it says. So the alleged leaks, 531 Pokédex slots in the latest build, 307 placeholders reserved for new Pokemon original forms. Gimmick and temporary forms are likely not included. Final starter typings are allegedly Grass Ground, Fire Fairy, and Water Psychic. The rumored Poison Dragon Pokemon is reportedly a regional Salandit evolution. Netsu, which is Majin, is a new form-shifting battle mechanic similar in concept to Dynamax and Gigantamax, but treated as a single gimmick. Every Pokemon can use Netsu. Okay, so that's it, right? Although only some receive unique forms. Current placeholder Netsu forms reportedly include Arcanine, Lucario, Kecleon, Pikachu, and 7 new Gen 10 Pokemon. The story allegedly features Lieutenant Surge's son, who uses his father's Raichu. The game is said to feature 3 main routes: Victory Road, Legend Tour, Majin Netsu Tour. We already read those. An Ice Psychic 3-stage line is reportedly in the build, believed to be a regional Psyduck with 2 new evolutions. Weather effects act as an exploration barrier that can be removed during the Legend Tour. The game reportedly includes side quests. There are currently no new Grass Steel Pokemon in the build. Voice acting was planned during development, but of course it's absent in any builds and may have been cut. MMO-like online features are reportedly the biggest technical innovation since for Gen 10. The base game is internally codenamed Gaia, with the DLC codenamed Zeus. Much of the development team has reportedly already shifted to DLC development, and is delayed to 2027, was allegedly to give them more time to complete the ambitious project, not because of a major reboot. So yeah, there is a little bit of a mix of all of that. This here, also this Poor Leaks tracker. Shout out to Maki and J Roses, by the way, for PokeOS. Lovely website, and also lovely breakdown here from them as well on all this information. He also mentioned something here, something related to Houndoom or Alphas are in the game. Seed is called Konetsu. Voice acting was not in the build. Gen 11's region inspiration has been decided. It is not Greece, Australia, or the United States West Coast. Interesting. So yeah, we'll see what comes out of that. Again, I'll keep you guys up to date. We already looked at this, and I think we already looked at that. I think we've pretty much gone through everything important. So yeah, I think that pretty much summarizes everything for us in regards to this. I don't think we missed anything. I'm pretty sure we covered everything we needed to. I'm gonna go back here really quickly and just double check everything. Make sure I've given you all the information. As you may have noticed, I don't post as much daily anymore for you guys, because I'm trying to just try not to spam you too much with a bunch of shit, okay? I'm just trying not to spam you too much. I'm trying not to give you too many things to deal with, because I don't know. If it's like nothing important to cover, it doesn't feel always worth it. Sometimes I will, okay? When I need to cash in some money, because I love money, okay? I'll make a BS rumor video about whatever is out there. No, but genuinely though, we'll be trying to just get videos out. I'll be trying to get videos out as much as I can because there's just been a lack of stuff recently, and now there's just been an explosion of information. So I'll try to keep up to date with it. I'm just working on so many different videos all at once. It's hard to keep track of things. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, and let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts are on this. Do you actually think we're going to get 300 new Pokemon? Let me know, and I'll see you all the next time. Peace out, and bye-bye, ladies and gents.